Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, and Facebookers, social media all across the nation. Uneducated Network presents Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Carlos Clay. Before we get started, please subscribe to Uneducated Network and subscribe to Uneducated Sports Talk as well. It's coming up. It's going to be very good. It's very big. Uneducated Network is right now is blowing people's minds out the way. We've had a lot of subscribers coming in too. So please be the next to subscribe, because we have not even tipped the top of the iceberg yet. We haven't even touched it yet. So we're nowhere near at all our goals that we want to have. But we want to be the #1 trending YouTube channel on YouTube eventually. And we will have that happening for your support. So I want to thank those who have subscribed. Thank those who haven't subscribed yet, but will subscribe. So just check us out, like, comment, subscribe to all of our channels, man. We got things popping right now. So I'm very excited to announce the Uneducated Network is in full blast right now. We have things going on, things cooking. So like I said, subscribe to it. But nonetheless, this is Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Carlos Clayton, and we have college football news. Yes. Now, we do know that NFL season is coming out in a couple of days where we have the Hall of Fame game, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Arizona Cardinals. And I cannot wait for that game to come on because that is the start of NFL preseason, which I'm hyped about. I'm so hyped. But when you talk about NFL, you cannot forget about college football. Now, I haven't said that much about college football since I talked about the college football championship. But now that is over with, we have a new season coming into. And what gets me talking about college football is that Nick Saban came out and said, how can we change the college playoff format? How can we get people more invested into the college playoff format or the college playoffs by itself? And he came out and said, you know what? All top 5 power, conferences should just play each other. No more of those cupcake games where you play 3 to 4 cupcake to sorry games. No more of that. If you want to get people more invested into the college football playoff, or more universities or more campuses invested into the college football playoff, you got to go ahead and start playing or scheduling tougher competition in your non-conference. So if you're the SEC, he's saying, we could play a 10-game SEC season and then play, other 2 games against non-conference, but they're all in the top 5 conferences, power conferences, excuse me. So he's saying, for instance, SEC, we can play a 10-game SEC schedule, then play someone in the ACC like a Georgia Tech, and then play someone in the Pac-12, say Oregon State, something like that. So that right there will help you when it comes down to the committee at the end, picking who's going where, because a lot of teams are being left out. We all remember the Big 12 conference where it was TCU and another team, I forgot who it was already, Baylor, TCU and Baylor, but their non-conference games were so cupcake that no one could leapfrog each other, and they both were not invited into the top 4 because they're not, yes, at the time the Big 12 did not have a championship, but their non-conference games were so garbage that if they had a good non-conference, somehow they probably would have leap bound somebody, even though they didn't win a championship, quote unquote, a championship, game. But I understand where Nick Saban is coming from. Now, if you're the little guys, as in, say, I'm just putting out names, Southern Mississippi, hell, McNeese State University, where I'm from in Lake Charles, Louisiana. McNeese, just a couple years ago, went to LSU to play. Now, you want that to happen because you get revenue for your academic program, for your athletic program, You get revenue for that athletic program. So if you're a McNeese State University going to Baton Rouge to play LSU, you're going to get money off of that. The school gets money. The president gets money for that, for the athletic community. So that being said, if you're a small school, you want to keep playing these big schools. You want to be scheduled. If you're the players, you want to be scheduled so that you can show your skills. Some don't want to be scheduled because they don't want to get blown out. As I understand that feeling. But a lot of these schools, these Division II schools, they want to play against the Division I school or the lower tier Division I schools, want to play against the top guys. But Nick Saban is saying, look, people, general fans like myself, we don't want to see the first 3 or 4 weeks where in your non-conference schedule, if you're Alabama, you're playing against East Alabama and West Alabama and South Alabama. We don't want to see that. No, that's not good. If you're LSU, unless I'm from McNeese, I'm from Lake Charles, so I want to see McNeese play against LSU. But outside of that, no one wants to see McNeese State play against LSU. They don't want to see. They want to see LSU versus Auburn, LSU versus Ole Miss, that kind of stuff. We want to see that. So Nick Saban is saying you want to bring more attention to the playoff format. Teams will start scheduling tougher competition in their non-conference schedules so that they can, at the end of the day, can look better when it comes down to the committee. Because we all know that if you lose in the first 2 or 3 games, lose once or twice the first 3 games of the season against tough competition, towards the end, it can benefit you if you go on, win 8 in a row or something like that, or you become very good. You end the season, you start off 0-2, but you end up 10-2. That's good. Instead of starting off 10-0 and ending up 10-2. You get what I'm saying? They respect you for coming on strong, but they won't respect you for losing late. So I'm like, go ahead and schedule that 1, maybe 2 games. And even if you want to do a cupcake team, have one. Have one outside the Power 5 conference. Have one. And then the other 3 games be Power 5 conference. But these teams, like I seen like a Baylor team, the ACC does it bad too. They'll play 3 of those games out of the top 5 power conference. And it's like, what are you doing? I understand you want to tune up, but my goodness, you already know you're going to blow them out. Like, you could beat someone 55-7, but they're just that bad. It won't show you how you are. I would rather lose to a really good team by 3 points or by 10 points, whatever, than beat a very bad team by 50, because you'll never know how you are that first 1 or 2 games. You'll never know. Beating a sorry team by 50 and then losing against a great team by 10, 2 different things. You can find your mistakes, because when you play against a bad team, you can't really find your mistakes. It'll take till you lose where it hurts you for real to find your mistake. And teams that have to start thinking like that now, and I respect that what Nick Saban said. More competition. That's how I want to keep going. The SEC by itself is competition. No, lately it's been the Big Ten has been pretty good as of late. So if they could just probably get someone, and it doesn't have to be a top tier team. If you're Alabama, you're not going against Oregon or Clemson. Outside of that, you'll probably go against a Utah, and then you'll probably go against a North Carolina, something like that. No offense to those 2 teams, but they're not at the levels of Clemson or Oregon. Well, Oregon's pretty bad last year, but you know what I was saying, though. Oregon of old. But you can just do that route. Don't go the tough competition. Now, this year, Alabama is playing against Florida State the first game of the year, but Alabama does that. And they come correct. Last year, they played against USC, and they smacked them up. This year, they're playing against Florida State, which should be a really, really, really good game. So I'm very excited to see what goes on in that game. But that being said, Nick Saban, he has it right. I do believe it's going to 8 teams in the near future within the next 5 to 10 years. So believe that. And it only brings out, like, if you have those top 4 teams going in, then the 5, 6, 7, and 8, the resumes come into play. That's probably why they didn't get in. Well, now you have the top 8 teams getting in. That resume is going to be key for those 6, 7, and 8 teams going in there. So if they say, well, you know what, you lost earlier, but it was to a really, really good team, that can benefit that 6th, 7th, and 8th person when they do expand to 8 teams. So that's all I'm saying. Nick Saban is right. If you want to be considered into, because everyone's so worried about Rose Bowls and this bowl and that bowl and the Sugar Bear Bowl and the Crown Royal Bowl and all these dumb bowls, and all these universities are worried about those bowls, and a lot of them are not focusing on the main prize. We want to win championship. Now, he did say they should stop putting you win 6 games to automatically get into a bowl game. But I think for some programs, bowl games are good. But if you're a top tier, top 25 team, you should be focused on trying to get to that playoff, not the bowl games. But of course, that won't change, because bowl games equal money. And we know the powers to be when it comes down to the presidents and to the universities, they all about their money. So we understand that. But like I said, if they do it, and when they do expand to 8 teams, those teams are going to be trying to fight in, and they're going to need better resumes, better non-conference scheduling games to get in. So I respect that, Nick Saban. And so college football is right around the corner. I'm excited for that. NFL is right around the corner. I'm excited for that as well. I cannot wait. I'm super duper pumped. On to other news, we'll talk high school basketball. And yes, we don't never talk about that, but it has to be something very special to talk about high school basketball. And we're talking nationwide, right? You already know where I'm going with. LaMelo Ball, who is the youngest Ball brother, all of the Ball brothers, but LaMelo Ball, who is a 10th grader, still only 15, I believe. He's grown like crazy. He got his first dunk a couple weeks ago that everybody went insane about. He's only getting taller and he's going to get bigger and faster. But he's playing against the number 1 prospect I'm hearing in the nation, a guy named Zion Williamson. And I've seen his highlights, and the man dunks on. He's been dunking since he was like 5. Is what it feels like. Now, I haven't seen a single shot from him. I haven't seen a single pass. So I don't know how well about he is, but they're comparing him to LeBron James when it comes down to his athletic ability. I'm all down for it. These two were set and scheduled to have a basketball game, the Big Baller Brand versus whatever team that Zion Williamson is on. And I mean, it was going to be Mecca, is what everyone was saying around the area in Las Vegas. And it's most likely going to be canceled because this tell you about our day and age of society right now with social media being so big now. 10, 15 years ago, we would have never even saw this game or heard about this game. No one was talking high school basketball about these #1 recruits. The only ones that were talking about it if that high school was part of your community. That's how you knew. But now we have these AAU stuff going on and these summer programs that these kids are going on, and they're faced against top competition every weekend or every week. So I'm loving it, but we never heard of this much hype, and they must have probably oversold. A police officer said that this game was oversold, overhyped, because they can't even get in. Like, they can't even get in. It's so many people that they don't even want to do the game because it might turn to a hostile situation. I don't know. But it just tells you about LaMelo's fame, basically from his brothers and his father, and then Zion Williamson just, being on ESPN once a month, dunking on somebody or showing his fantastic dunks. Check out their highlights, man, especially Zion Williamson. He has some nasty dunks. He's from South Carolina. I had a couple recruits come out there. Bill Self from Kansas went out there, and he's like, he has never seen anything of this atmosphere for a game at all. And LaMelo's just in the 10th grade. I think he's going to the 11th grade. I'm not sure. And I know that Zion Williamson, I think he's in the 11th grade going to the 12th grade. So I'm not quite sure about that. But those two will be phenomenal. They're phenomenal high school players. They'll be phenomenal college players. Now, we all know LaMelo's going to UCLA, as all the Ball brothers committed to UCLA. Zion Williamson still hasn't said where he's going to, but Bill Self is one. He's recruiting them. He wants them in Kansas. So we will definitely see what's going on with those two guys. And like I tell you, our society has changed now because no one back in the day was talking about high school games. I mean, we heard about the first one to really come out was LeBron James in 2002. We saw about his senior year for St. Vincent St. Mary. We saw a few games, and that was my first time seeing high school being played because of a certain player. High school games, national high school games, excuse me. Now we see it like crazy, and everyone's talking about it, and I'm pumped because I've been following these guys for the last year now, and I'm excited to see what they do in college, and then we'll see them in NBA. But I've been seeing these guys play since for the last year or two, and now I'm seeing guys who are freshmen right now, and I'm watching them go too to be good NBA players or good college players. Because let's be honest, not everyone's making it to the NBA. So that's crazy. That's electric. I just had to say something about that because that's crazy news for high school basketball, man. And on to my final thought. Of course, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Dan Gilbert, they're all up in this crazy mess. This little triangle, this little square they got going on, this romance, this days of our lives. We'll call it Cavaliers of our lives. I don't know. But Dan Gilbert, when introducing the new GM, I forgot his name. I didn't go that route. But he was basically saying he plans on seeing Kyrie in training camp. Now, this is the same guy that said the Cleveland Cavaliers will win a championship before LeBron James. So obviously he says stuff just to say things. I don't blame the guy, but he wants to keep people happy. But my thing is, with all this going on, LeBron versus Kyrie versus LeBron, LeBron versus Stephen A. Smith, Kyrie versus LeBron, Kyrie versus Dan Gilbert versus the media, all that crazy stuff going on, man. you can't trust anything. And I won't trust a single word out of Dan Gilbert's mouth. I don't trust a single word out of LeBron James' mouth. I don't. What I do know is that Kyrie will be traded. There's been offers like crazy going out, and I'm telling y'all, I think Kyrie will end up with the Sacramento Kings or somewhere in the West in the deep end. Phoenix has already said, we're not shopping Josh Jackson. You can have Eric Bledsoe, you can have draft picks, but we're not shopping Josh Jackson. If I'm Phoenix, I'm rethinking that, like, maybe I do want to shop Josh Jackson because Kyrie is a stud. But you never know. Sacramento might be doing the same thing. De'Aaron Fox, a couple of players, draft picks, that kind of stuff. Even the Denver Nuggets, I don't know what they can give out, but Denver Nuggets are a team that I will try and talk to as well if I'm the Cavaliers, because you want to put him in a position to where he can't beat you in the finals next year, and that you get good draft picks or good young players just in case LeBron leaves, right? Yeah, he's leaving. But Kyrie Irving is, he said what he said. He wants to be gone. And Dan Gilbert is trying to calm things down. And he said that we expect Kyrie at training camp. I don't expect that. I expect Kyrie to be gone within the next 2 weeks at the most. I cannot see him in September for training camp. It's not going to happen. What he said and what's going on with him and LeBron, you can't put that together and act like nothing ever happened. Now, there's rumors that Cavalier teammates do want them to, let's buddy it up. I'm sorry. Let's start all over. Kyrie's a different kind of animal, man. He's not going to do that. LeBron might do that just for the sake of it, but no, Kyrie said to have the cojones to say what he said, and all of a sudden I gotta renege it now. I gotta apologize about what I said. I'm not apologizing for nothing because I'll do that, and LeBron's still gonna leave me next year anyway. So no, I'm not being stabbed in the back. I'm not doing that. He's seen LeBron do it to everybody else. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it to me. That's what Kyrie is saying. So this mess will not end. And I love it because I get to talk about it every single day. But Kyrie, LeBron, the Dan Gilbert, the whole triangle thing going on, it will not stop. And I cannot wait till we find out the breaking news where Kyrie Irving is actually going, because the Cavaliers said we're acting big on this price. Kyrie Irving is a top 10 player in the league. He is. Top 10, maybe at the most top 15, but he's definitely top 10 in my opinion. I don't know where to put him at, but top 10 for sure. And I'm excited. Be on the lookout somewhere in late August. I'll probably start talking about, I'll give everyone probably my top, I'll say top. Let me know this. Do you want a top 30 or a top 40 NBA players of right now, current players? Top 30 or top 40? Let me know what you want. And I'll give my top 30 and top 40. And I'll probably do that every day for those 30 or 40 days until I get to number one. On my top 30, 40 players. So I'll write out there. So just let me know if you want 30 or 40 so I can get down. Let me know. So like, subscribe, comment. Check me out on Facebook. My name is Carlos Clayton. I'm from Lake Charles, Louisiana, if that helps. Check me out on Twitter at Carlos Clayton _ I repeat, at Carlos Clayton _ And just hit me up. Tell me how you feel about Nick Saban in the college football playoffs, man. Do you want to see a change? What's your thoughts on the college football playoffs? I'm loving it. I love the fact that it's a playoff format now. And how do you want to see it expand? Or do you like it being at 4? Or do you want to see that 8? I want to see that 8. Let me know how you feel. And LaMelo Ball and Zion Williamson. Is high school basketball being too overhyped now? Let me know how you feel about high school basketball as well. And Dan Gilbert and Kyrie Irving trade. Kyrie Irving thing is just going crazy, man. So we will find out. Where do you think Kyrie Irving is going? Where he's going to be ending up at? Will it be Sacramento? Will it be San Antonio? Who you got? I don't care. Let's roll, man. So, Uneducated Network presents Uneducated Sports Talk, and I'm your host as always. As always, sports fan, you know what it is. Stay smart. Stay educated. Peace.